Hello, world. Good morning. Welcome to the best breakfast ever with Barbie Lee. This is where we do our 150th healthiest foods on earth. We do a bunch of other stuff in the group, but this is one of our main things because this is all about the best breakfast ever and more. Is all about feeding your body to change your life, right? Change your breakfast, change your life. We start with our Isoline Isogenic shakes. Today I'm having a chocolate French vanilla. Yum. Perfect breakfast, protein, fats, and carbs, just saying. And we also talk about other things that are related to your health, your wellness, your financial situation, because we are a network marketing company. We are partnered with Isagenix, and we have the greatest opportunity to literally change your breakfast, right? Start eating Isagenix, join our Isagenix network marketing company to change your life physically and financially. We help you eliminate the stress of physical and financial uncertainty. Like, isn't that what y'all want? To eliminate the stress of physical and financial uncertainty? I know, right? Anyway, ooh, ooh, ooh. Cheers and good morning. So today we are talking about squash. Ooh, there we go. Squash. So we're going to talk about winter and summer squash. So here's something I didn't know. I guess I just never thought about it, right? So there are winters and summer squash that I knew. But the summer squash includes zucchini. I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I never really knew that zucchini was a squash. Totally is. And it says crookneck and patty pan. I have never heard of patty pan, but I want to go and find some patty pan. Wrong time of year in this part of the world, but anyhow. So it says it was first cultivated for its seeds, right? About 10,000 years ago, they didn't have the squash of 10,000 years ago didn't have much flesh and was bitter and inedible. And then over the time, right? So Christopher Columbus brought some to North America, yada, yada, right? So over time, it became more edible. So here's what's really great. So they're talking about the difference between winter and summer squash, right? So, oh yeah, this is the book. Sorry, I forgot to show you the cover of the book. Wait, 150th Healthiest Foods on Earth, right? All right. So it says here that summer and winter squash can go head to head. Oh, next week we're doing potatoes, or next time. So it says summer squash has the heart healthy mineral potassium, and it's higher, 3 times higher than the typical potassium supplement. Like, that's huge, right? It also contains beta carotene and 4,000 MCGs, micrograms of lutein and zeaxanthin. So it's good for the eyes as well. So these are summer squashes, right? So winter squashes like acorn squash, butternut squash, and spaghetti squash. And pumpkin is also a squash, but it has its own characteristics. So it gets its own other conversation later on. Actually, we already talked about pumpkin. But it says that the winter squash is higher in carbohydrate content than summer squash. And that's about the winter and carbs and, hibernating and all that kind of stuff, right? But an acorn squash says 1 cup of cooked acorn squash has 9 grams of fiber. And you know how fiber is good for, right? Good to help you poop. We always talk about good poop, right? So it helps you poop, keeps things running through you, which means there's all kinds of cancers that it helps to eliminate when you have enough fiber in your diet, right? It also has, get this, 896 milligrams of potassium and 2 milligrams of iron. I know, it's so funny. As a vegetarian, people always say, where do you get your iron if you don't eat red meat? I'm like, from food. Anyway, then it says butternut squash is an absolute vitamin A giant. 22,000 IUs in 1 cup of butternut squash. I love butternut squash. I make this awesome butternut squash soup. Oh, it's fantastic. It's just, and then sometimes I just cube it and I bake it in the oven. Oh, that's really good too. And then they were saying a recipe here about cut them into like fry size shapes and then like spray a little bit of cooking oil, right, on the pan and, bake them. And then you make these little French fries, right? But they're really butternut squash fries, right? So that's really cool. And put a little turmeric. I love turmeric on butternut squash. So he's telling you to do that as well. And he says there was a study of 63,000 people in China and found that eating the cryptoxanthin-rich foods, which are like the winter squashes, had a 27% lower risk of lung cancer. So I don't know how many times I keep saying this. Eat real food. Avoid things like being fat, getting cancer, right? Eat real foods, right? Eat your vitamins and minerals, right? Sometimes some parts of the world we have to supplement because, like, I'm here in Edmonton and We've got snow on the ground. We're not growing our own food at this time of year. So we need a little help, right? Now, here's what it said. Squash can help with weight loss. It is a very high water content vegetable, and it's filling and low calories. So foods like that are integral in weight loss. So you can eat, right? So what does it say here? What it said, I don't think I said it out loud. Oh, here we go. 1 cup of acorn squash has 115 calories. Like, that's nothing. And that's with the 896 milligrams of potassium and 2 milligrams of iron, right? And it says spaghetti squash, on the other hand, has almost no calories, 42 calories per cup. It has less fiber, 2.2 grams, but at 9 milligrams, but a ton of potassium and vitamin A. So here's the thing. Eat real food. Drink your best breakfast ever, right? Have your best breakfast ever. And throughout the day, eat some really great food. Feel amazing. Be healthy. Help others do the same. Create a residual income. Change your breakfast, change your life. Have a great day.